Hi, my name is Cyrus and welcome to Lightcraft episode 9. And right from the start you can tell that something is off.
Huh?
Like, why am I flying? Well, yes, I am in creative mode here on Lightcraft. And let me explain. To run our server, we pay one hosting company for it. But lately, we weren't very active here on the server, and we somehow forgot to pay for another month. After some time, our server got deleted. It was completely gone. Luckily for us, I somehow found a random backup I made more than a year ago. So I moved that file back to the word files of the server, and just like that, Lightcraft was restored. Well, not quite. You see, because the backup was so old, everything that happened after I made it is just not here. But I've got a way how to restore it because I have a creative copy of this island where I design all the mushrooms. So I just grabbed a schematic with Litematica of that whole island, and you can see that everything that I had built previously is saved in this schematic. So if I run a command that places that schematic into the world, everything should be as it was after the last episode. But I won't have any of my items I had before because the Litematica doesn't remember what I had in my inventory. So yeah, let's run the command and see how it goes. So let's grab my Litematica tool, which is How. The default is stick, but I changed it to How because I had some problems when I was using Litematica in survival and I was holding a stick, and so yeah. So if I go to paste schematic in the world and I do this, what the heck? Seems I will have to divide this schematic into some small runs and then try again. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Alright, take 2. No, I might have to do some research.
2,000 years later.
Okay, let's try again. I hope it will work now. So seems like it's doing its thing. Yes! Yes! It's building for me. Yes, this is... And it's done? Yes. And now it is replacing all the blocks that shouldn't be here and also modifying the terrain underwater. Which is great. Because previously it replaced only the air blocks with the blocks which should have been there. So yes, now the island is completely restored. Yes, great success. So guys, I'm back and with all of my items. Well, not really, because I couldn't recover all my items in my storage room and also in my inventory and ender chest. So I gave myself the basic ones like beacon and tools through commands, and the rest I just need to grind it out. And I've been doing that. If you look in front of me here, there's loads of... actually this one is empty. But there's loads of wood I chopped down when I had some spare time. And also there are some ores I went to the caves, so there is that. And as you can see, I reorganized the storage a little bit from before because previously I didn't like it very much how I made it, so I decided to change it. And this was the perfect opportunity because all of those chests were just empty after the restoration of the island. So yes, and as you can see, I have made some tools. Here are what is on my armor, and I have some silk touch tools here. and the fortune pick, and the rest of the tools is here. So guys, now I want to build a brand new mushroom, and that mushroom will be for all the blocks I get from my mushroom farms, which I will put right underneath me, or next to where the smelter is. If you remember from the last episode, I built this mushroom, and underneath it is a giant hole in the ground. There's a super smelter placed in there, and I want to do something similar, but I want to put some mushroom blocks farms down there and build a brand new mushroom to store all of those blocks up here. So I have prepared something in creative, and the first thing I'm going to do is to dig a big hole, because all those farms need to go somewhere, and currently there's just lots of stone and deep slate down there. So let me dig that hole and I will be right back. So guys, as you can see, the hole is done and it's really huge, and thanks to TheHedge for helping me with the deep slate part, because otherwise I would have been here like for 5 hours more. So I think now it is time to gather all the resources and actually build something here. So let's go and gather all of those hoppers and observers. And also guys, I want to show you that from this hole I got absolute ton of resources. Ooh, I nailed that. If we go into my storage mushrooms, and you can see that I have 10 shulker boxes of cobbled deep slate, 9 shulker boxes of stone, and also 2 boxes of cobblestone, and I think I have, yes, this one is almost full. And I also got some diamonds. This is not all. I have almost a stack of diamond ore. Actually, if I add all of this, that brings me to a total of 63 diamond ore, which is very good. I can finally afford some more enchanting books from TheHedge. And with the whole dugout, it was time to gather resources. The first one was glass, and quite a lot of it. So much so that I decided to use the super smelter for the first time. It was, spoilers, super fast. As building blocks, I used polished deep slate as always, and luckily I had plenty from the digging. Then it was time for the heavyweights. Literally, a hopper is basically just a load of iron, and to craft observers you need 6 cubic meters of cobblestone. What kind of doomsday machine is that? Anyway, I continued with the other materials, and after a couple hours passed by, I had everything I needed.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so I have all the materials needed for those farms, so here are they. It's quite a lot of them and they fit exactly in 4 boxes. So now it's time to build the farms. So guys, all the farms are built. Yes, that's right. And right now I will show you how everything works and how is it connected all together. So let me enable my detachable camera. I downloaded this mod because I was thinking about showcasing this in survival, but flying around these things was really a pain when I was building it. And so I decided to just use this mod. It is much easier to show you guys everything. So guys, this is the brown mushroom farm designed by Alexbobmbird, and I will of course link his video down in the description box below, because if you want to understand this farm, I highly recommend watching it, because he explained everything really well. But basically what happens is a player is standing right here, where this fence is, and they are looking up there through that hole, and a brown mushroom is grown, and the cap will be at this layer, and these pistons are actually triple piston extenders which will push the cap back and forth, and then these two pistons will push it up to this hole and the player will destroy it and then plant a new mushroom and the cycle will repeat. So that is a brown mushroom farm, but I made one small addition to it, and that is this redstone mess down below, which is basically a composting machine, and that secures that the farm has enough bone meal to sustain itself. It actually produces more mushroom blocks than what is needed to sustain itself with bone meal, so I hooked up this composter machine which turns some of the mushroom blocks into bone meal and then sends it into this storage up here, and when everything is full, this comparator will turn on, and that will turn off this redstone, and that will enable, basically right now this hopper is enabled, so it sucks out everything and put it into these composters. But if the storage silo for bone meal is full, it will disable this hopper and it will go here into the water stream and up into the output. So that is the brown mushroom farm, and this thing right here is a red mushroom farm which was designed by Sanedragon and tutorial was made by Froggo. I will of course link everything down, and I again recommend watching their video if you want to know exactly how the farm works. So basically you grow a mushroom inside of here, and then I need to get a horse here because this farm is used while on a horseback, and you basically move back and forth like this and destroy all the mushroom blocks, which are pushed by these blocks, and behind them there are some slime and honey block pushers which push all the blocks inside. So that is how this farm works, and again it produces enough mushroom blocks that it can sustain itself with bone meal. So that is exactly what I hooked up. Where is it? What I hooked up here. Yes, this is the storage for bone meal, and this is the bone meal making machine, and it goes here, and this is the output. And for the mushroom blocks, when the storage silo is full, it will again disable this hopper and everything will go into the water stream out there. So that is the red mushroom farm. But of course, if you are planting those mushrooms, you need a steady supply of them. So that's why I built a third farm, which actually part of it is right up here. This is a TNT duper. It will dupe the TNT and it will fall down there where the rest of the farm is. And actually this is a really good design of a TNT duper because it doesn't use any slime blocks and the coral fan, and also minecarts. And another advantage is that the TNT falls straight down, because if you use slime blocks it falls like in this curve and you cannot predict precisely where the TNT will land, and that sometimes may be a problem. So this is a really cool design. It is basically triggered by touching this node block. We already used it to make this hole with the hedge before. This is basically a redstone clock that is triggered by this scaffolding, and if we go down here we can see that here there is a switch which will push this block out of here, and that will change the state of the scaffolding, and up there's an observer which will detect that and start the TNT duping machine. And this hole is deep enough so the TNT will blow somewhere here in the air and it will destroy all the mushroom, but it won't destroy this farm. And actually this part is I made a little tweak because the farm was only for brown mushrooms. This piston was originally one block up and this wasn't here, and it was a simple like piston pushing machine. But I lowered this piston because if you grow a brown mushroom, of course, there will be a stem here and then the cap will be right here and it will be flat. And the farm works by pushing the stem here, then up, then here, then up, and then here, and then up, and everything is blown up by TNT. But I was having a problem when I planted a red mushroom. Then the cap, of course, is round, like a circle. So sometimes a block generated right here on top of this piston. And then when the stem was pushed away, it pushed everything here to the wall and it broke. So basically what I had to do was lower this one piston and make it a double piston extender so it pushes 2 blocks up instead of 1. As you can see, here is a sticky piston underneath it. I know it's not the most compact design in the world, but I made it myself and I'm kind of proud of that I I made a double piston extender myself. So yes, I made a slight modification to this farm that it can grow both brown and red mushrooms. And again the player will climb this ladder and stand here on top of this comparator, place the mushrooms down, it will be automatically grown and then destroyed by the TNT dropping from above. And everything will be collected down here in this glass box. I need to put all the water down in this box, in those streams and also in the elevator, but I will do that lastly because I don't want water spilling everywhere and destroying my work. So I will do that later. But the mushrooms get collected, sent up here, and if we go up there, we can see that it goes here, here, and into this storage system, which is actually an item filter right here, design classic impulse item filter. This will make sure that it separates the brown and red mushrooms from each other and sends them into their separate farms. Then of course I have this thing right here which is basically an item sorter again, and right underneath it there's an Shulkerbox loader, and this thing right here will separate all the mushroom blocks, red ones, brown ones, and mushroom stem, and put them in shulker boxes because there will be quite a lot of them. Both of these farms produce like thousands of blocks per hour, and this is just a shulker box storage. And as you can see, I labeled everything with these signs because I will not remember where everything is. And then those shulker boxes are put in a water stream right here, and it goes up here, here, and up onto the surface. And this is where the new mushroom will be, and I have to build that yet. And by the way, I noticed that I have been pranked. I don't know who did that, but somebody replaced some parts of my beautiful mushrooms with these ugly blocks. And it's also there and there. I don't know who did that, but I'm gonna place them back right now. And also I found this note. Got here from my base by Elytra. It's actually pretty close to TheHedge. No, of course, if you have a NASA computer, hello. Anyway, let's get rid of these pranks and then let's build a mushroom. Oh, dang it. I need to load the schematic for this entire island. That's gonna be a lot of lag. Alright guys, the pranks have been cleaned up and it's time to gather all materials to build the new mushroom. So let's do that right now.
1 hour later.
So guys, every block has been gathered needed to build the mushroom, and they are right in front of me in these two shulker boxes. So as you can already tell, this will be a pink and white mushroom. I have some stripped cherry wood here, smooth quartz, also pale oak, some stripped mangrove and pink terracotta. And in this box I have just some random bits and also some redstone bits and a couple of glass blocks to make that glowy effect that you can see, for example, right there, or right there, or right there, but in a different color this time. So I guess now the only thing remaining is to build a mushroom. Enjoy the time lapse. Oh hi! Welcome to the lab! I was just doing some research with these mushrooms, and actually we are now inside of the new mushroom. I know it looks quite different than my other interiors, but I wanted to try out something new, and also I had to somehow hide all the hoppers which are behind these walls. Behind these trapdoors are barrels which will be filled with mushroom blocks coming out of those farms down below. And those boxes with mushroom blocks will come up through this water stream, then up through here, and or actually up through here, and they will be distributed to all these compartments with barrels. So, that would be the inside of the mushroom. This is the water elevator to get in. I will show you in a second how to get in here. But first we must get out using this trapdoor. And this is the mushroom from the outside. I tried to use the new pale oak successfully, I would say. I think this mushroom stem is one of my favorites here, because it kind of reminds me of some of those haunted houses with that open mouth with a lot of sharp teeth. You can imagine like just open mouth trying to eat me, and oh no, it's gonna eat me, please help. Anyway, this is the mushroom stem. I will also show you how the mushroom looks from far apart. I went for this color palette. Actually, I was really struggling with this one. I tried all the color palettes that I haven't tried before. The thing is, this island is starting to get really full, and I didn't want to just copy some mushroom, like not even a color palette. For example, like this blue one, I didn't want to make just another one but different shape. I wanted to come up with something new. So I was searching for some color scheme that I haven't used here. It took me several different attempts. I think I tried some yellow, some red, but there's already an orange one, and also there's a lot of red ones. And I landed with this one in the end. And I think that up this close it looks kind of weird, but when you look from far, it doesn't actually look that bad. And I think it fits the island pretty well. If we land here, yes, you can see that it kind of transitions between from these browns and reds into those neon and blue colors back there, and also it really nicely ties up with this orange. The one thing that's bothering me right now is actually that this stem is really similar. As you can see, I used the cherry wood on this mushroom cap and also on this mushroom stem, but I think I'm gonna leave it like as it is, because I don't want to change that mushroom, and yeah. So that would be that. And right now I will show you how to get inside, because as you know me, I made another hidden entrance. Yes. At this point, I think this is one of the greatest things on this starter base, that almost every mushroom has a different hidden entrance. Well, the starter mushroom's entrance is not really hidden, but that wasn't the point here. I just wanted to show somehow that there are people living here on this island. Well, people, I don't know what race it is, but somebody is living here definitely, and keeping care of these cows here. But anyway, this new mushroom has a really unique way to get in. There's a hidden button, which I specifically made out of, here you can see it. I specifically made it out of polished blackstone. Yeah, this is the block. So it would camouflage really well with the basalt. And if I stand on this granite block and push the button, I fall down. There's powdered snow under here, so I don't take any fall damage. And if I continue this tunnel, that's the water stream I showed you earlier. So yes, that would be that. And if I want to exit, I just go over here, press this button, and I'm out. I take a little bit of fall damage, but that's fine. I have a feather falling 4 on my boots. So yeah, that would be the new mushroom. The entrance is pretty hidden. I would say that anyone who doesn't know about it will probably never find out unless I specifically tell them look for your hidden entrance. But yes, I'm very happy with this one. But I still think that that mushroom has the best entrance of all time. Let me show you. I mean, just this is awesome. But I didn't want to replicate it also because I didn't want to build that small mushroom in front of it. So yes, this is the new mushroom. What do you guys think of it? I think it's a good one. It's not the best one here probably, but I'm quite happy with it, and in the end it came out fine. But guys, that would be everything for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a while between those episodes, between the last one and this one. I had a lot of, oh, sorry, that's close. I had a lot of things going on between episodes, and for those who sticked up to the end, I have a little secret to tell you. Yes, right now, as you can tell, my performance is not the best, like 17 FPS while recording at 8 render distance, that's just rubbish. And I have a bunch of performance mod. Without them I wouldn't even be able to record this. But that's going to change, because I was busy working with my hands, actually, not behind the PC, and I made some money, so I decided to buy a new PC. That's right, so in the next episode you can expect quite an upgrade. It's not ready yet, but I hope I will get it ready soon, and until then, have a nice day, and I will see you next time. Bye!